Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages, I'm Double R, and we got a twofer today. We're going to cover a growing debate within the RP community. Well, you can call it a debate, it's pretty self-explanatory. And we are dealing with something I've brought up before, but we'll get to that after. So first things first. The infamous debate that's growing within the RP community is the Black and BBC side of things taking on the ABA. So let's go ahead and get the definitions out the way. The BBC does not mean the British Broadcasting Channel. It means big, black, cash and prizes. Wang. Chicken's chicken. You get it. I'm trying to minimize cussing and brutality for this to keep things simple and straightforward and going onward. The second thing we have to worry about would be the ABA, which is the anti-black, BLACKED, army. So let's start with the basics. Most of the BBC characters are broken off into two sections. One very small section and one very obvious section. The small section are those characters that claim BBC, and they will state that they are humble, normal, whatever. They see BBC more not as big black, but they see it more as badass black character. That's what they try to go for initially. I say initially because that's also been changing a lot as of late. This definition is wrong, and they're being dragged through the mud because of it, because of the other group. Now the other group, of course, screams black superiority and they mistreat women. How can I say this? You know all those rap songs that are pretty much stereotyping black guys as thugs and all that other stuff? You know, wangs down to the knees and they can't walk straight, and oh my god, they got muscles on muscles, and white women need to learn to shut up when they speak. Things like that. That's the BBC. Sadly. They are stereotyping so damn hard, it's ridiculous. Like my whole thing about Bobby Drake as Iceman, because they turned him into, like, Will from Will and Grace. Take that and crank it up to 11. That's BBC. The other part of that group is the black community, where a bunch of snow bunnies, aka pale women, decide to say racial things against black and white people, but they use the black person as a shield, saying, oh no, because he's plowing me, or his character's plowing my character, or whatever the combination there is, I can say the hard R and not have a problem. You're going to have a problem, and you're going to have yourself a bad time. Now, what does the ABA stand for? Well, the anti-black, BLACKED, community, army, whatever, the ABA is pretty much stating that they are against racism. They are against these stereotypes running rampant. While the black community, BLACKED, are saying that with the BBC, they're against racist actions and against racism, so they're blaming the ABA for being racist. So one more time, let's get this down. The BBC and the black community are using what I call the AGD, or the anti-gator defense. For those of you who don't know what the anti-gator defense is, let's go ahead and summarize that, shall we? The anti-gator defense is to immediately call your opponent a cystophobe or whatever other thing needed to try to shame them out of, one, stepping back out of their own debate, and two, so you don't have to address any of their items. This is very common. This was commonly seen in Gamergate, Comicsgate, where the media had literally said the exact same thing. Well, those who oppose women in comics, those who oppose women in gaming, they start with that to immediately try to shame them. Oh, y'all just hate women in games. You just hate women in comics. No, no, no. You're not even touching their discussions or their arguments. We're not going to go over that here because we're already stuck on the AGD. And that's from the BBC community as well as the black community. Within roleplay at least. Where they immediately went to the AGD saying, the ABA here, those folk, they're racist. Because I'm playing a black character, they're racist. I'm going to need you to stop right there. I'm going to need you to cut it out. If your character's pushing black superiority, fine. It's in character. I don't give a shit. For those of you who know me, and those of you who've watched a few of my videos, you know that's how I break things down. If it's in character, I don't care. You could be Super Saiyan Hitler. You could be marching down the street, reading Mein Kampf, blasting other races all day long. In character, fine. In character, fine. That's a character. I get that. Roleplay what you want. I don't have to roleplay with you. Simple as that. But when you are taking those beliefs of the character out of character, and you are speaking as a writer, actor, etc., on these beliefs, like you're holding these beliefs fully, there's a problem. There's the problem. There's the issue. If you're role-playing Super Saiyan Hitler, and all of a sudden he comes up and the writer says, yeah, I do believe we need to get rid of all of such and such. There's a problem there. There's a problem. There's a disconnect. That needs to be stopped. But this being said, that's what's going on with the BBC and the black community. They're spouting black superiority, and they're not saying it just in character. They're starting to say it out of character. Thus the video. Again, if it was only in character, this video wouldn't even be made. But the problem is a lot of them are taking it out of character, which is kind of comical because a lot of the people who are role-playing the BBC and the black accounts have found it as a kink. Wait. Let me get this straight. Let me time out. You're telling me that these people from the BBC and the black community, these people are treating black people like items and other things because they are not racist? I have so much shit I want to go on that. A later time. Sorry about that. Just the level of what the fuck just popped up. This is where they stand. Tell me something. When was the last time you heard jungle fever or yellow fever or anything like that? Around what, 2000, 2005, give or take? Because people understand that people can fall in love with other people, usually within consenting age, and that's going to be its own thing in a minute. But you see the point being made. The BBC and the black community, the black, B-L-A-C-K-E-D, community, it's a color, not a verb. It's a color, not a verb. Why? Black end is when you burn something. But why is the color by itself now a verb? I'm the one that verb. I'm the guy that makes nouns into verbs. I'm usually the one that destroys the English language like this. What is? Back on point. The black community and the BBC are pushing racial things, not only in character, but out of character. And that's where the ABA is having their issue. That's where their gauntlet is thrown. Their problem is that these folks are giving the black community as a whole a bad name. Not only because they're doing it in character, which I can debate on that. If it's in character, what the fuck ever. But they're also doing it out of character. And that's where a problem comes up. Again, once you start spouting these kind of beliefs and such out of character, that means it's applying to you as the writer, not to your character. You might want to fix that. So what side would I technically be on? Well, given the information that the black community and the BBC have exposed to me, and given the fact what the ABA have shown me, I got leaning with the ABA. Because the BBC and the black community are actually racist. They are more racist than the ABA. The ABA may not... How can I say this? Okay, here we go. Let me tell you how the incident probably started, and it will kind of explain why this sprung up a lot faster than it should have. Someone decided to make a black account, but the writer is white. He wanted to go with all the stereotypes of black people. So he went with it. You make it sound like this isn't a thing. There's a joke in Not Another Teen Movie where this has been a thing, where white people will act Asian, black, whatever, because they're trying to win points or cred with that community. It's a thing. It happens. Even in roleplay. Sorry. That said, when they came over and they made the BBC character and they decided to get a couple folks with them to get black accounts, the black accounts, the characters are pale and white and they're using the hard R. Remember the whole PewDiePie thing where he was on a game and he used a hard R on somebody that he's playing a game against that they didn't really hear? Picture that. But again, cranked up to 11. Why is this important? Well, it's important because if it stayed in character, this would not be a video. But the problem is they take it out of character. And a lot of the accounts are owned by white people. So what probably happened was a black account, you know, with a snow bunny that's spouting racial things, got the attention of a member that became a person that became a member of the ABA, who happened to be a black writer, either using an Asian or a white or another ethnicity character. Because contrary to Marvel's beliefs, people can't identify with characters outside their race and color and gender and all that happy stuff. Just saying. Just put it out there. But what probably happened was when the future ABA member talked to that character going, hey, that sounds a little bit racist, they were pretty much told, fuck you, you're not black. I could say this if I want to because my boyfriend happens to be black. And they mean that both in and out of character. Well, there, Kimosabi. Black people aren't your shield. But if you're going to use that defense, if you're going to use the kink, I still stay on topic. If you're going to use it as if you're going to say, if you bring up the defense of it's a kink, oh, my character is dating or getting plowed by this other character, so I can say that. If you use them as a shield, you're racist. Now, if you say it in character, fine, cool, I'm with you on that. It's in character, don't give a fuck. But if you say it out of character, you're racist. Pretty straightforward, right? So the BBC community, the black community, removed that little AGD because it doesn't work. The AGD does not work here. Because you're literally telling black writers, because a lot of them are black writers. I'm half black, but a lot of them are black writers. The problem is you're making the black community look bad overall because you're saying this both in and out of character. To me, out of character. Once that happens, you fucked up. Don't say it out of character. Keep in character. This brings me to issue 2, where I lightly alluded with the pedo thing a little bit ago. Oh great, Double R is going to defend pedophilia. No, not even. I defend role play, not role players. This being said, recently someone popped up an account and it was shown to some folks, and like I said in my video with taboos, once a taboo pops up, common sense and logic thrown out the window. It just immediately, whoop, gone, vanished, poof. So the guy's handle is pretty much either get in the van or pedo in a van or some sort of van variant. Pretty much an old stereotype of a pedophile. Driving down the streets, looking for kids, trying to bribe them with candy, taking them into a van. Old stereotype of what pedophiles used to do. Do they still do that? Probably, I don't know. Not one. I'm not part of that community. Don't care to be. The fact remains that they go through their account and they meticulously point out this is in character. This is just in character. This is in character stuff. Their character is this. This is what their character does. And of course, someone found that account, posted it up, and everyone's like, oh my god, what the fuck? Oh god, oh my god, you can't roleplay this. Now these are probably the same people that say you cannot roleplay historical figures. Go back to my example of Super Saiyan Hitler, where I said as long as it's in character, I don't give a shit. Because it's in character, that's how the character rolls, that's how the character is portrayed, that's how it works. Character. Character's a thing. But once you spout a character's belief out of character, that most likely applies to you. There is a difference. For those of you who don't get it, there was an actor who did the reboot for Nightmare on Elm Street. Where Wes Craven decided to go more to his original script because he felt, oh, it's going to make him more evil. And they turned Freddy more into a pedophile. Now, the actor that played Freddy understood this, and a lot of people seem to understand that the actor was not a pedophile, but the character of Freddy Krueger in the reboot was a pedophile. Here I am explaining this again, because guess what? So many people in their responses, oh my god, it's a why the fuck, oh my god, see, if I was more comical and I was able to spin this into a comedic way to where I could just walk y'all into it and then people would share the video and be like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Nah, this actually irritates me because it tells me that you have... These are a thing, again. These are a thing. These as much as I see in the Moan, a couple Moan communities where it seems to be getting better, these are still a thing because that happened and it showed that these are still a thing. You could literally sit there. Oh my god, my character's a Super Saiyan. I'm role-playing Goku. Oh, this guy's a pedo. Oh my god, what does he think he's doing? Oh my god. And they're throwing a fit and they're throwing a hissy and they're going off their rails about it and they're crying and they're complaining and I'm sitting here going, but it's all in character. He states in the bio that it's a taboo. He understands it's a taboo. He knows what's going to happen. He puts all the information in character. In character. He even has rules and regulations. In character. And yet here is everyone. Oh my god, he put this. It's a pedophile in character. Well, okay. Let's go with y'all logic for 38 seconds here. Since the guy that did the reboot of, Nightmare on Elm Street happened to roleplay as a pedophile, we need to go ahead and hunt him down as a pedophile. How about that? How does that work? Does that sound right to you? Does it? And don't shake your head no, because it does to y'all. Because of these. You're proving my point. And I'm only agitated because, again, the guy makes it clear. It's in character, and yet, oh yeah, what the fuck? I'm sorry. There's characters that are... Their character is a rapist. Their character is a rapist. Do we go after them? Do we hunt down Kevin Bacon because he, at one point, was role-playing Hollow Man, and Hollow Man tried to rape somebody? So should we go after him? Should we? According to y'all, we should. We should hunt him down. We should chase him out. We should kill them and castrate them and all that, like y'all were saying in your comments. You see the difference between in character and out of character, right? And the reason why movies are brought up so often and TV shows are brought up so often is because it's a literal visual representation of role-play. People were paid to do their thing. People were paid to role-play. Like I stated before, an actor is nothing more than a professional cosplaying role player or role-playing cosplayer, depending on the skill of their acting capability. If they're good actors, they're more of a role player. If they're bad at it, then they're more of a cosplayer. That doesn't make their own costumes, of course. But you see my point, right? So before you go, oh my feels, oh he's role-playing a pedo, stop yourself for 30 seconds and think about it. Is all this stuff in character? Yes, it's all about being in character. Does he have all these things outlined? Yes, he does. And here's the kicker. Here's the big one that's going to ruin y'all day. People who go to that account, see that account, and do exactly what the bottom line says. Like and retweet, and that tells him that it's okay for him to bring you into his van. So if you take a child character there and you like and retweet his profile, who's the evil one? The neon sign saying pedo here, or the person who walks up to it and goes, huh, it says pedo here. And I know pedophile means against kids, and I'm a 6-year-old Gohan. Sure, why not? Who's the one that's bad? The one walking into it, or the actual neon sign? I'll let you decide where you stand on that. And like I said, I get it. I've gone over this in a different video, and I'll put that in the link below. And when it comes up on BitChute, I will get the BitChute video and put that in the description as well. But the fact remains, it's a character. Stop trying to go nuts on a writer because of a character. I know, there's some legal stuff in there that's causing a problem. I get that 100%. I do. Legality is a motherfucker. But that's them taking that risk on their own. For all they know, one of the people they roleplay with could just so happen to report them, and, well, they're arrested because they have pornographic material of child nature. Just saying. So, that's a double dose for today. And I'm trying to keep it under 30 minutes, so let's hope it stays under 30 minutes. I'm Double R. I'm out. Have yourselves a good time. Roleplay to roleplay, not roleplay to get offended, for love of. Take your identity politics and get it out of here. It's roleplay. It's a freaking hobby. I understand that y'all want it in every freaking hobby, but roleplay doesn't have the media attention. In fact, it has media scorn, like I've done before over the myths in roleplay. You might want to watch that video, and then you'll see how pointless it is to put identity politics into roleplay. Double R, I'm out.